Hi, my name's Sean Shaler. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter. Welcome to Avatar The Last Podcasters, where we start all of our titles with questions now. That's going to be our new thing. Chris, today we're going to talk about the new video game that has been announced, and then we're going to do blind ranking just because we haven't done that in a while, and I've got some reasons for my inspiration that I'll explain in a minute. Very excited. But before we get to that, Chris, how you doing? What have you been up to?
I'm good. Getting better at archery. I bought myself a bow, an actual adult
Ooh.
bow.
Compound or not?
Um, no, not compound. I'm all natural. You know,
Okay.
whatever weight, whatever weight of that arrow is gonna be the weight that I pull back and stuff. Not anyway.
Can't wait to go
Um,
over to your house next time so we can shoot stuff.
it's fun.
I, I believe you.
The not fun part about it is looking for the arrows because they just like if they skid on the ground, they're just engraved in the ground, and it's just like, where is it? And then like I'll find an arrow that I shot like a couple weeks ago. Like, oh, I found this arrow. I lost another one, but I found this different one.
Net
But that's cool.
zero.
Yeah, exactly.
The
Um, yeah.
Giovanni's good enough. He gets sarcasm, right, and everything. Every time we do something that feels like distinctly American, he'll just always say something like, "He's like, yeah, we should be doing this with guns and trucker hats and being like America, right?" And so he's he's really good at
I would
picking.
say that I have not killed any animals. I don't plan on killing any animals, FYI. Because I did one thing, I wasn't planning on killing any animals anyway. Because just the mess of picking up a squirrel that's dead. Like
Sure.
it's a mess trying to pick up a dead thing and then dispose of it in a way that doesn't draw a bunch of flies.
Hmm?
Makes it sound like I have I have experienced that because one time an owl just like left a dead rabbit in my yard, and then that time I purposely did kill a bunch of mole rats, but
Yeah.
that's mole rats. That's fine. I slaughtered them like Anakin slaughtered
Yinglings.
those. Yeah.
Sorry, younglings.
Um,
No, I just saw that meme yesterday. It makes me laugh every time.
but also I looked up that I think it might be illegal to hunt in your back squirrels and stuff in your backyard.
Is
But
it illegal to
I
hunt
know
them, or is it illegal to fire a firearm at them?
I granted I didn't look at some like official thing,
Okay. And
but
well,
I think it's illegal even with the bow and arrow. 'Cause I purposely searched bow and arrow.
okay. Okay. I did not know that. What's that phrase? Plausible deniability. We didn't know. We didn't know. I can't wait to go to your backyard and shoot not animals. It's gonna be great.
I bought a target and it's really cool to like to just shoot at a target and be like, oh yeah, that hit exactly right, like bullseye. It's always fun getting a bullseye.
Is it wood or is it like a piece of paper that you put like we had a piece of paper that you put on a hay bale?
It is a it's kind of like a three-layer rope almost that's rounded.
Okay.
And so like the arrows have a they say this is rope. I say it's rope, but it's not. It's some type of rope type of deal. But the arrows can easily go through the layers of rope, and so you just pull them out and
Okay.
stuff. So it
Nice.
will probably last a year, if I had to guess.
I think this is finally your segue into D&D. You're going to be a long-range archer in D&D. This is going to inspire you. It's going to be amazing. Chris, I done a lot of Avatar this week. I used to get really upset. Not used to. But like for years, I've been annoyed because Hoopla is not supported by my local library. And then like 3 weeks ago, I found something called Libby, which is the exact same thing. Like it's still based on library cards, except for my library like uses it. So I'm listening to the Rise of Kyoshi audiobook, and it is the best book. It's my favorite book. It's great. I'm only an hour into it, maybe 2 hours.
Mm.
I forget how many hours. I feel like I'm roughly a quarter through the
It's like
book.
9 hours, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm roughly a fourth of the way through the book, and it's just my favorite book. It's amazing, and so I'm re-ranking right now, just off the top of my head, re-ranking all of the novels, and it's Rise of Kyoshi, Shadow of Kyoshi, and then everything else, all the other three, whatever. That's fine, and it's great.
Yeah.
And then also, Giovanni, our foreign exchange student, started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. And the first night I was nervous because we watched 3 episodes, but he fell asleep during the third one. But here's the thing: A, he's pretty good at sleeping. Like he just is one of those people that if he gets comfy, he can just fall asleep. And two, we've like been running him ragged. He plays JV and varsity soccer 2 nights a week, and he like practice, and then we try to do interesting things with him before baby's here. Because once baby's here, we're not going to do interesting things anymore, and he's aware of that. So we've just been like, so he passed out. It's like, oh no, he's bored. No, but the past 2 nights, he has voluntarily asked to watch it. So I was like, yes. So we just finished. We just finished the waterbending scroll. Just finished that one. Is that 9? I think. Does that sound right? Episode 9. I think it's.
That might sound too. Waterbending scroll. I'm not sure.
Anyway, just finished that one, and I think he genuinely likes it. So that's great. And then he's gonna come to the concert with us in November, which is like right around the corner. All of a sudden, so very exciting. And then those things, well, I guess those things along with Toph's casting, reading the Kyoshi novel, and then Toph being cast the other week, and then this next piece of news we're going to talk about felt like a good time for a blind ranking. So when we're done talking about this next bit of news, we are going to do a blind ranking, or 2, or whatever we feel like, because it could be really fast, or we could argue a whole bunch. I never know. But
before we transition, speaking of the Toph casting announcement, I feel very dumb or very smart or both. Last week or the week before that, we talked about the casting
you're a
of
wizard.
her name is Mia Chek. That's how you pronounce her name, Mia Chek. I forgot that in a video about 4 years ago, I fan casted her as Toph. So I'm great at this. I need Netflix to call me up because I have great casting ideas.
Well, they're not going to call you if you keep putting your advice online for free. They're just going to take it. You have to be like, I know, here's my credentials. I know who this should be. Call me Netflix. Then.
And on top of that, so I tweeted out on our Twitter, tweeted out on our Twitter, like the video of me casting her, like going through it and stuff. I said, man, pretty much Netflix called me up. I didn't tag her in this at all, but the actual actress did like put, I don't know, green heart emojis and prayers said hands maybe. So I'm gonna take that as confirmation that I had something to do with her casting straight from Toph herself.
The prayer hands are when you type the word thanks. It specifically.
Yeah,
I would think she was thanking you for getting her that job.
Yeah,
that's what she said. Yeah. That's what... So I did this thing. My theory on your behalf that you like forgot it. I have like really vivid dreams sometimes of normal things. Like I have stupid dreams like everybody else. I remember my dreams most of the day, most days. But sometimes I have very vivid dreams about very mundane things. And I'll be like, Heather, remember that time that we talked about petting a walrus or whatever, and I'll say it in real life and she'll just look at me, and it's because I didn't say it in person. I said it in a dream, but it felt so real. I feel like you thought you like dreamt that or something, that you're like, oh, I probably predicted that. And then no, you didn't. You didn't dream it. You actually did it.
The thing is, when she came, when she was announced, I was like, okay, I know her. I know this name. And I looked up a picture of her, and I'm like, I remember seeing that specific picture of her. And I'm like, oh, so I've seen this casting go around before. And it just didn't register in my head that I did that casting. I'm confident I was the first person to cast. One of the first to actually publicize it and cast it. It's not like I got that casting off someone else's idea. I watched her in the movie Always Be My Maybe with oh my gosh, I forgot her name. Uh, Randall Park. And anyway, it's a Netflix movie.
That sounds like a
She was
movie
good.
that I would hate.
It's a
It's just
rom com.
based on the title that I'm not gonna watch that
It's
movie ever.
definitely a rom com. Um, and then she was also in this movie called End of the World, I think. But she's great in it. Also, I should clarify, it wasn't prayer hands. It was just the heart emoji. Prayer hands would have been a thank you, but it was just the heart
Okay,
hands.
well, my fan
But,
theory is broken.
yeah, it's okay. She was being coy about it. We'll say
She's
that.
she's playing hard to cast.
Even if that was the case, it wouldn't be like the casting director would be like, "Listen, you got the robe. I want you to know we got this idea from watching, one of our go-to people that we watch on the low, the Objective Geek, and he did this fan cast. So just between me and you, no cast. Even if that was the case, if they saw the casting video, they wouldn't go tell her that, hey, we watched this video and that's what really got you on our radar.
That'd be amazing. And Dana
Yeah.
Day would be
Anyway,
like, "Hey, I know that guy."
also, I put out there more casting that BD Wong. You might know who BD Wong is. He was on Law and Order, and he was on Gotham. What else was he on? Mr. Robot. Um, Asian
I'm gonna Google
guy.
him real quick. How do you
Okay,
B
just
D
the initials
Wong?
BD and then Wong. Yeah,
Okay, yeah, I know who that guy is.
yeah. I think he'll be a great Long Fei, head of the Dai Li,
Okay,
because like he's really good at playing like that, like quiet, diabolical, kind of running things in the shadows type of person. I watched him on Gotham and I watched him on Mr. Robot. He's really great at both of those roles. But so that's another good casting that they can take. There you go.
they go Netflix. Well, this time Netflix is gonna have to listen to the podcast though in order to get that kind of advice.
I did at least I tweeted out, so it's out. It's out there at least, and other platforms. What's another
Fantastic.
else I was going to bring up? Oh, they're all underway. They took a picture together, all the cast, including Mia, with the all a team. Well, it was all a team Avatar with the Azula actress, but they just look so happy and stuff in this picture. So filming is underway, and we'll probably have the new show. I guess just filming typically takes about 3 months, and then you got posts probably either late 2025 or early 2024. I mean, they're doing time travel or early 2026.
That's awesome.
But
Just to hear, just again, it's one of those situations where like just having dates and confirmation feels like good news.
yeah,
That's a win. Speaking of things that feel like good news, although in this case maybe, you know what? No, I'm going to be positive about this. It is a new opportunity. Chris, you brought it to my attention the other day that there is a AAA Avatar The Last Airbender game in the works featuring an avatar thousands of years before the regular events that we know in the series. And what makes this unique is it is being done in collaboration with Avatar Studios. It's being published by Paramount, which is still the owners of Avatar Studios, right? Is that an accurate statement? Paramount
absolutely.
Interactive. And it's being published by Saber Interactive. And you brought this to my attention. And at first, when you said it, you're like, hey, there's a new Avatar game. I'm like, okay, cool. But then it started popping up on I watch like a daily video game news bit. And then I watch a lot of the Linus Tech Tip stuff. And it came up on their gaming show, which for some reason in my head was like a reminder that other people care than just us. Right? That there's like no
Yeah.
other people are also upset that there's no good games. Anyway, tell me your feelings to what'd you go through when you heard this news?
One thing I was immediately curious who the heck Saber was. I wasn't familiar with them, and so immediately I went to like, oh, Sean probably knows or familiar with because you're often familiar with video game developers and stuff. Um, I don't know. I mean, like when I hear RPG, to me that can mean a bunch of different things, and so I feel like I don't have that much information on it. If it's in the
It's such a
realm of
broad
like,
term.
yeah, it's such a broad term that I often don't know what the heck it means. Like, because Zelda's considered RPG, right?
Not all of them. In fact, you know what, Chris? Most of them are not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, look, I interrupt. Go ahead.
But it's such a broad term that I don't get excited just hearing it. The thing is, a lot of people are like, I feel like, are overwhelmingly positive about it. Like I've seen like probably 95% approval rating of Happiness, and you're probably the one person I've seen skeptical of it. And even I'm like, yeah, well, I'll wait and see. But people are like, finally. And also, I don't understand. Like, what is the criteria for a AAA game? I don't like what. This seems like some marketing ploy for video game developers. Like, do they have to pass something? Do they have to reach a certain criteria to be a AAA developer game? I don't know what that.
It's their certification that they achieve.
Yeah, but
So I will say that the longer I've dwelt on it, the more positive I have become because this is so
okay.
much different than the other video games that we have. So at least there's a much better opportunity to be good. But I hate the nebulous. So to me, RPG is not a way you can describe a game anymore. It's just an element of a game. And I believe, and somebody should tell me I'm wrong or whatever. I believe that RPG is still associated with characters that have like stats or skills or ability that build up, numerically under the scenes, even if it's not numerical on the surface, but like building
Okay.
up stats and things like that uh, by usage. So like the reason Zelda doesn't really count is because it's usually only his health.
Yeah.
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 And then his armor and stuff build up. But then people call Monster Hunter an RPG, and that's kind of like Zelda. Like you just get better armor and equipment, but your character doesn't get better. So anyway. But Nebulous on the RPG and Nebulous on the AAA, like it just like marketing shtick. AAA is usually just implies a lot of money being blown. I don't know that there's a marker for it. Like I don't know that there's like like this is what makes it AAA in 2024 after inflation. It just means that somebody's willing to blow a lot of money on it. But I am still way more positive about it than I was, just because of the. See, I don't even know if the first three bad ish they weren't horrible, but they were bad video games. I don't know if those were affiliated with like the creators at all. Like I don't know if the creators
I,
had any input.
I am positive in past interviews I've seen when Legend of Korra game came out. Mike Bryan were like, "Oh yeah, like we are actually working on this game," and so that makes me think the ones before they had absolutely nothing to do with.
Okay, good to know. And those games are just like generic, run of the mill, Nickelodeon garbage kind of games. Is the nice way. And then the movie game was bad, but probably better than the movie, which is just the funny way that people review it. Right? They're like, it's bad, but it's better than. It's still bad. The Platinum games were good. We've talked about those. Korra and the 3DS one
Yes.
isn't good, but it's passable. And then Korra is good, the PS4 one. And then the most recent one I think is widely regarded as possibly the worst of the bunch, which is kind of upsetting. But none of those. So if only Korra and the 3DS game had input from the creators, and those did not have a AAA developer. Like at that time, Platinum, you know what? Maybe Platinum had stuff under their belt at that point, but it wasn't a AAA game, right? It was a budget. It was a budget title.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't even consider it. I like that game a lot. It's a very enjoyable game. I even like the story. But yeah, I get your point there, budget wise. And to me, that's one of there are just from this one announcement, which we did get some additional information, which I'll go over in a minute. Just from this one announcement, there's two things that I am really really excited about. The first is just this game actually have budget behind it because so many games have not had any budget behind them at all. And second, they said it's going to be an Avatar thousands of years in past that I am.
Finally.
Yeah, like
Finally.
stop. Like don't retell Aang's story to me, or
Please.
even record. Like I've seen that story. I know that story.
It's a great story.
Oh, yeah, great. One of the best.
If I want
To
to
me, it's the
experience it again, I will do so in the existing medium.
yeah. So having thousands of years in the past, that's really really intriguing and just add to the lore. Like I'm always about adding lore to the world of Avatar, whether I force it on it with my own lore or getting it.
Uh, I will not pretend to know anything about the budget of the Korra game. I will say, you left it, or well, you seem to really like it. I like it quite a bit. I didn't like the other non beat 'em up segments, uh, but other than that, I liked it. But Platinum Games did already have an impressive resume, actually. So before this, I'm just looking at Platinum Games. First of all, there's like no junk in there at all. Like every game prior to Korra is good. There's no horrible or bad games before Korra. And it includes Bayonetta, Bayonetta 2, Metal Gear Rising
Ah,
Revengeance,
right. Wow.
Vanquish, Wonderful 101. The only one I haven't heard of or am not familiar with is called Anarchy Reigns. So Platinum Games had a great repertoire, but I would still describe it as a budget game. Like it's not, there's not like amazing graphics or anything particularly deep or expensive. I doubt they probably used an existing engine from Vanquish or something like that. But that is me guessing. I can't validate that. But other than that, it's a very bad list of games. The 3DS game was not platinum, and it was not as good. I just felt like it was good enough for what it is.
Okay. It's funny. The Legend of Korra game is like so elusive now because you can't. It was always only a electronic digital purchase, and so you can't get it anywhere. You can no longer buy it digitally. You just have to have it.
Yep, you just gotta have it and not steal it from the internet.
Yeah.
Chris,
but
go ahead.
So there's a new podcast episode coming out from Brave New Elements going over video games. Recently, it was released to the people who purchased some extra perk of the podcast, and so they had talked about it. This comes from this a person on Twitter tweeted summarized the podcast notes, which shout out to her. Her name is Brittany. You can follow her at BK Malia8. Anyway, so shout out to her. She doesn't know. Anyway, I don't talk to her. I just found this. I just appreciate that she put the notes up here. Just finished the episode. They talked Fortnite, Roblox, Realms Collide. Nothing new there. The fighting game. Oh, apparently there's a fighting game coming out that I wasn't aware of. Also, that is not this.
Not an Avatar game, right?
No, it is. I'm sorry. It is an Avatar game.
It is. Okay.
A fighting game coming out next year, apparently. Heavily based on or meant to feel like Street Fighter. 10 characters available at launch. Doug said the gang, but also referred to them as the Core 4. I'm not sure if only Bender's in this game. Yeah, so apparently there's a fighting game coming out next year. It probably won't be great. I mean, whatever. We'll see.
Yeah.
If they didn't put any money behind it, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Fighting games seem like they would be easy-ish to make, but if they're not balanced, they're not fun. And the issue with fighting games is like it's so easy to go play a better fighting game, right? Like if your fighting game isn't good and story can't save it because it's a fighting game, you're just gonna go play a better fighting game. Like there's no, it's well, even like Nicktoons, like once the novelty of fighting with Nickelodeon characters wears off, which is pretty quick, you just go play the better fight because there's no narrative to save you. There's no.
Yeah.
But also, I would get in the camp and say, listen, if you like fighting games, that's great. They are one of my least favorite forms of video games. So it's one that I'll try just because it's Avatar, and then I'll put it down forever.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was. I did not hear about that though. This is the first time
Yeah.
hearing of that. Chris,
She goes on to say about the. I'm sorry, what?
no, you. I interrupted you. My
Oh,
bad. Go ahead.
she goes on to say about the fighting game. Very much a fighting mechanics game, so learning combos, but will be approachable to players of Smash Bros. Brawl.
Okay.
How to balance avatars. They
Of
can use all the
brawl
elements.
specifically, they specify brawl.
Well, maybe she's just familiar with Brawl. I don't
Oh,
know. I
okay,
didn't.
but that's
I
weird,
could.
right?
Well, I'm saying maybe this person who's doing the summary is just familiar with Brawl.
Oh, the summary herself, not like a quote from a. Okay,
Yes, this is not. Yeah, this is a. This is it's almost hearsay, but surely.
okay. I thought
Anyway,
that was like a quote from a creative. And I was
that
like,
would be weird
what
if
a
they were like, "We're
strange-
gonna focus on the four games are all relatively the same, except for the first one, sort of, but they're all kind of relatively the same.
Yeah.
But we're focusing on Brawl."
We're gonna pick the one where you trip, and it's gonna be familiar to people who are familiar with tripping.
Yeah, don't try to
It
go
really
too
wasn't that bad. I like Brawl. People overdo how bad it was, but
far. I had absolutely no problem with the
yeah,
tripping. I don't know. It just
it's completely
like I don't remember tripping all that much. Anyway,
it's very minimal. It was just stupid when it would happen. You're like, oh god, that's a stupid thing.
but will be approachable to players of Smash Bros. Brawl. How to balance avatars? They can use all the elements, but Zuko will be stronger with fire than Aang. Okay, that makes sense. Goes on to say, okay, talks about the AAA RPG, confirmed open world action RPG.
That tells me
Available
more. That's
on,
good.
Okay. Available on PC, consoles, new gen. That's interesting.
PC consoles, new gen, like next gen,
What?
or like are they trying to say
I mean, new gen,
maybe
I would.
Switch 2,
I would.
whatever?
Well, PS5 wouldn't even. PS5 would not. I don't know.
They call that people call that. I think people refer to that as like next gen, even though it's out. Like you don't hear people say current gen. You hear them say next gen.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
I don't know at what point it runs out. We're 5 years into the PS5's life. That's false. We're 3.75 years into the PS5's life.
Yeah. She said. He said. Sorry. They had on like one of the heads of video games or whatever from Paramount or from Saber. I forget which one. But his name was Doug. Not to be confused with Doug Funny.
Or Doug Bowser of Nintendo.
Oh, that's true. That's so ironic.
It's
Such a
messed up. Yeah, it'll never.
Like they did that on purpose.
And there's a guy that got in trouble for stuff with like I don't know, like Switch Pirate something or other, and his last name was Bowser. I think it was really there was a weird Switch Bowser guy jail. I don't know. Gary Bowser, isn't that strange? He's the bad guy in Nintendo's real life story.
He said you create your. He said in the game you create your own Bender character, but you are also the avatar. I don't know if that means like you play as two different people. One of them you created, and the other one you play as the avatar. So again, I'll have to listen to more. Anyway, a bit confusing there, and she did say that. A bit confusing there. All four nations available. You could explore Bossing Say, etc. Working title: Ice Wars. Because the game is set 7,000 years ago. Natural disaster, a volcano erupts and is starting a new ice age. You are a new avatar in the middle of this. Discover yourself, go on a journey. There will be a new villain. Estimated release 2027, 2028, but don't hold them to it. These games always have delays and they want to do it right. Other stuff, looking into VR, more narratively driven games, casual games, puzzle games. Lots coming in the next 5 years.
Huh. I'm going to make a couple of guesses. I'm going to say that New Gen is just leaving it open for consoles at that time. And that when they say you create a character and also the avatar, I'm going to guess that you are creating a character and that's your main character. You just happen to be the avatar. Like,
yeah, I wouldn't think you would be able to create. Well, wait. Oh, you're saying you'll be able to. You're saying that you create
you are customizing your
the
character.
avatar?
You are customizing your character, that happens to be the avatar, and you just get to be in charge of their regular physical self, what they look like. You probably don't get to pick a nation, I bet. Well, maybe. Oh, that'd be fun if they had the story. Would that be good or bad if the story was
But
open
see though,
enough
if they
that you could pick a
the thing
nation?
is if they had that you choose the avatar and you it messes with canon unless they just like whatever.
Yeah, when it comes to video games, I usually say rule of cool over canon. It's just an opinion, right? Just make
Yeah,
it, just make a good game. But I don't want to mess with timelines either. I like timelines.
hard to
Uh,
say.
Action RPG to me that feels Zelda like, but with skills, right? Just any open world game where you run around and kill stuff and get stronger. That's good. Adds some flavor. Chris, would you like to hear a bunch of games that Saber Interactive has developed before?
Sure.
So I was surprised. The first time I looked through this, I was not impressed. But then, I'm sorting it and putting it in order, and I'm more impressed. So not published, but developed. They have Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic remake that's going to come up someday.
Oh.
Question mark someday. They got that. That should be cool.
Well,
I hope it's good.
I mean, that's a big task. That game is like I never even played the game before, but I know how big and iconic that game is. And so for Lucasfilm to trust them with that, or whoever, Disney,
That's a big deal.
that's a big deal.
Gloomhaven, which I don't know if it was good or bad, but that's another one that it carries weight. World War Z, Wildcard Football. I'm only familiar with those in name, not actually played any of them. The Ghostbusters remastered video game was kind of like it was supposed to be like an entry in the movie series back in the PS3 days, right? It's supposed to be. I'm not familiar with Ghostbusters franchise. I want to say it's supposed to be like the Ghostbusters 3 that we never got. Had the original cast and they got the remastered version of that game. NBA Playgrounds 2K. There was a few Mud Runner, Evil Dead, WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Like a lot of stuff that I consider. Oh, Crisis Remastered. They got the Crisis Remastered series. That's kind of big-ish. A lot of stuff that to me is like fringe big. Like maybe not the most impressive thing in the world. Like not high end, not S tier, maybe not even A tier, but like high B tier stuff, in my opinion, is the top. And then they've got a lot of other stuff that I've absolutely never heard of, but like a lot of Android and iOS that, could be great or garbage. I have no idea. So there's hope there, right? Fingers crossed.
Sure.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've never played any of these games before.
I haven't played a ton of them. I have played a little bit of Ghostbusters, which I mean it's a good enough game, and then I'm familiar with the Crisis, with the original Crisis. I never played remastered, but yeah,
Crisis looks like a cool game.
Pardon?
Crisis looks like a cool game.
Yeah, yep, it's good stuff. I want to say, don't quote me on this, but I think the original Crisis was like a big deal. Man, am I going to screw this up? Because it came out on the Vita, and it was finally like the first full good FPS made for the Vita and not ported to it. I'm ranting too much, made my throat dry. Oh, I really did. I got a bad scratch in my throat now. Chris, take it away.
All right. Yeah. So that is gaming news. It's just good to hear that Avatar Studios is doing more stuff. Good to hear some type of money and resources are put behind the Avatar game. We have been waiting for that. So that's awesome news. And I really look forward to learning about this new Avatar, whether you create the person or what.
Awesome. I have more hope now talking about it and hearing these extra details and looking a little deeper. I don't think I don't think it can be as bad as anything created thus far, other than outside of the core games. Other than just like performance issue, like they already have they're finally already sort of doing what we asked them to do, which is like, hey, can you just make Zelda with Avatar, please? And they're keeping it outside of the canon that we know already, right? So they're like 2 for 2 on those. Good developer, good-ish at least from our relative opinions. Developer. I don't think it can be as bad as some of the other stuff, so that's great. Chris, in honor of the Toph casting and me re-falling in love with the Kyoshi novel, we should do a blind ranking. So I've got it pulled up here. I'm going
Blind
to
ranking.
blind ranking. Yeah, you got to fire finger guns everywhere. That's very popular in the Shaler house right now. I'm gonna pull it up on screen so everybody can see it, and I'm gonna make us small. Let's go small. We can go bottom left corner.
And we're choosing. I think we should choose because there's probably about 12 or so Earthbenders, maybe 20. I forgot how much you said.
I already forget too.
We should choose 5.
Okay.
I think we should rank 5.
Blind ranking 5. All right. Let me get rid of these here.
And which one of us has the best one?
Okay. I've got it filtered down to Earth. It includes avatars, only including the avatar's non-avatar state Earth bending. Chris, selection number 1 is Lek. That's a tough one to start with. That's really tough.
Lek, long range type of sniper.
Man, that's tough to start with, though. I'm gonna go 3. I'll go first. I'm gonna put it right in the middle, hedge my bets, play it safe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 3 also. Or should we play it to where we can't? Now we always just.
We should have established the rule. I like that rule, but we would have. I feel bad for stealing it and going first.
No, well,
without that established.
Well, then we'll just switch.
Okay.
Like next time I go first.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's do. I'll go first. I'll take 3 if you're okay with it.
Well, then I'm gonna go 4.
All right, Chris going 4. All right, and you got this one, and you have Yoon. Ooh, spicy.
Yoon. Wow. Ooh. Well, I can mess you up now.
You can screw it up so bad. You have to do it.
Well, yeah, no, I was gonna do it anyway. I'm putting Yoon at 2.
All right, so because you do that, that means I can't put him at 2. Means I can't put him at 3. I'm gonna. It's essentially 1 or 4, right? Yeah.
But that's a huge difference. 1 and 4.
Is. I'm gonna go 1. I'm gonna go 1.
Okay. That's fair.
All right.
Which usually we don't play. Usually we don't do this rule. I'm curious how it's gonna end up.
It's a great twist. I'm surprised we haven't thought of it before. Oh, Roku, but just as a Earthbender, right? So, man, we don't know a lot about Roku Earthbending.
Really don't.
Is it safe to make it? It's not safe. I'm just voicing things out loud. That the Fire Nation at that time probably didn't give too much of a crap about Roku learning high-end Earthbending.
He definitely. Well, he learned. I believe his name was Soot, his master. I believe it was Soot. Roku was really good. He was he mastered Earthbending. I would say he was a good Earthbender. He did do the skating thing. Wait, no, what did he do in the skating? Or doing some type of earth
to block in the volcanic lava? He was using some Earthbending, right?
Yeah.
To get it. I think the smartest thing for me to do is to put him at 2. Like, I have to safely presume that he's better than Lek, and then that means you have to put him at essentially 1 or 3 logically, I think. So I'm going to put him at 2.
Okay.
You're at Yoon 2, Lek 4, since you can't see it.
Yoon 2, Lek 4. Yeah, I'm good with him being at. Ooh, boy, that leaves me with a. Wait, then. Have you chose your 1 yet? Wait, I'm choosing next.
Yoon, yeah.
Okay, all right, I'm good. Okay, I'll go with 3. Yeah.
Going with 3, right? I think that's your safer choice, personally. All right, you got first this time, and you have Juan. Interesting.
Wow. Interesting. Interesting.
Talking
Ah
about
man.
talking about knowing less
Uh,
about somebody's skill set.
one. Earth might have been the one that he used. That's him. He used the least. He did
It's
throw.
such a
I believe he
small.
threw.
It's such a small sample size, regardless.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Hmm.
1 or
I'm
5 is
gonna put
such a
him at.
big leap.
I'll put him at 5.
1 at 5.
Yeah. Uh,
I'm gonna go 4.
I'm taking a chance here. If one isn't okay, so you going
That's
with 4?
that's exactly what. So I'm going with 4 because if it's somebody worse than 1, I feel like I win. If it's somebody better than 1, I feel like you'll win. If that makes sense. So that's why I'm going
Yeah.
1 at
So
4.
okay, so don't do it yet. Where are we at right now?
Uh, so we each have them in the exact same order, just displaced by 1. We have Yoon,
Really?
Roku, Lek,
That's
1,
hilarious.
and I
That's
have
funny.
5 left. So, like I said, if we draw somebody that's worse than 1,
That's
I
funny.
win. If we draw somebody better than 1, you win. That's really all it boils down to. All right.
Okay, so we have the exact same order, but I have 1 available and you have 5 available.
It's kind of amusing.
This, yeah.
All right. You ready
All
for
right.
this final click? Here goes. Dai Li Agent.
Oh God. Don't you know? Random nameless daily agent.
I
is
instantly thought of
best.
the Austin Powers, line. You haven't even got a name tag. All right,
Yeah,
we
I
gotta do one
pause-
more.
pause
Yeah,
that
we gotta do one more, and you gotta go first this time because I just took it last time because we hadn't decided. So let's go one more.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna click the button. I cleared everything. It's all reset. Oh, good. Fun.
Daily age. I was hoping for like that one time he did it, and I got a mon. That was great.
In your broke spreadsheet.
I'm pretty sure you used the same exact logic that because I sent you that file.
No, listen, I'm actually really proud of this sheet. Like the way that it factors in Avatar with the bending state of all for any of the bending questions, but not for the non-bending ones, and then removes them from the list entirely, so you don't have to read. Because one of those times you had a duplicate and you had to refresh again. You got to throw that data out. That's broke data, Chris. That's broke data.
Yeah, that one. Who's the
other one? You won fair and square. I'll concede the other one we got him on the first time. Chris, you got a fun starting point here. You've got Korra as your first draw.
Ooh, man.
You could kind
Uh,
of pigeonhole me a little bit right out of the gate. I feel like.
Man, Korra's a great earthbender. Also she's a metal bender. She I'm going 2.
I feel like that's the right thing for you to do. I feel like I'm gonna hedge my bets again. I'm gonna go 3. It just feels. I feel like I'm gonna draw better than Korra. All right. Clicking the button. Kyoshi.
Ooh.
If I go 1, you can't go 2. I'm going 1. Sucker.
You gotta do that. You gotta go. I forgot where we ranked Kyoshi in our
Where did we
earthbender
rank?
list. But
It was really high, right? Like I feel like we did not ding her very
She wasn't
heavily
in the
for
top
her lack
3.
of precision. Yeah, maybe not that high, but like she was still
'Cause
in
about-
the upper echelon. That's what I'll call it.
Yeah, I'll have to wait. I have the.
She got a light ding for not knowing metal bending and a light ding for lack of precision, but it didn't.
I'm pretty sure had her ranked higher than Korra. Earthbender.
Based on feats of strength, but man, it's tough. I'm biased right now just because I'm reading the novel. Like I just got past the part, not just a couple days ago, where she drags a whole ass island through 200 feet of water to upend Tagaka, which is a great
I
name.
actually have her ranked 14th. I have Korra ranked it. Why not? Oh yeah, I mean we must have dinged her for a couple
Dinged
different
her.
things.
Oh, dinged her harder than I remember. That hurts.
Yeah, harder than I remember also,
Okay,
which is
okay.
kind of.
Was
Anyway,
that pre novel? That had to be post novel. Anyway,
definitely post novel. Who yeah, Kyoshi. Okay, so at Korra at 2. So yeah, I'm good with putting Kyoshi at 3.
gotta go 3 basically. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, you'll go first for Kuvira. Nice.
Ooh
That's solid.
man, Kuvira. Gosh, I think Kuvira is a top 5. She's I think she's the best metal bender. Even though Toph invented metal bending, I think the way she uses metal bending is she takes it up a notch. I am okay. Wait, you haven't chosen your one. No, you
I
chose
have,
Gifts for
yeah. I
your
put
one.
Kyoshi at 1 just so you had to put her at 3, essentially.
Yeah,
Which,
I
it's
am.
fine.
I am. Gosh, but no, I am good with Kuvira at 1.
I
Yes.
think I think that's a good choice. My 2 slot is open. I'm gonna go 2, and I'm gonna chance that we're gonna
Okay.
get. We both have 1 through 3 filled, just slightly different orders. So
Okay.
let's hope for some worse benders. Haru. I'm gonna guess that whoever else we get is gonna be better than Haru, so I'm gonna put him at 5, which means you have to
Yeah.
take him at 4.
I thought I could have a really solid list,
Yeah, this.
but yeah,
I
put
think
him
this
at
will be
4 then.
close. This will be close depending though. All right, who's our last? King Boomy. Nice.
Dang it. I think
Um,
that might have ruined this.
I,
Having
this is reasonably close. So I have Kyoshi, Kuvira, Korra. You have Kuvira, Korra, Kyoshi. Your top 3 makes more sense to me
yeah.
just by having Kuvira up top, and I think if you weight it higher up, being better. So I think you
I
won
think
that.
okay.
Right?
I do.
It's
Yeah. I think definitely the 4 and 5 messes up for me, but I do agree with the kind of weighting the top more importantly than the bottom.
I think so too, and the way I'm going to describe it is being like we've probably talked about this before, and I just didn't like take notes or write down. Is that the farther away you get from the top,
I think we might have
the
did it
more
until
parity.
I think we might have started going down a route of like, all right, well, how can we put this into a formula to actually rank? Like we started going down that path of like, all right, put their actual
Hmm?
rankings that we think they would be, and then there was some math. I
Let
don't
me
think we ever
try.
got around to solidifying that.
I'm going to say that top is more important because chances are when you go farther away from the top, you have more people in like a bunch. Like you go from
Yeah.
Kuvira to Nameless, Dai Li, Agent, and Haru, right? Like it's more muddled at the bottom. So to
Mhm.
me, that's less value, less distinction. So I'm going to say, yeah, it's
Yeah.
top weighted. You win that round. But it's
We
close.
need a tiebreaker.
Yeah, let's do. We got time. We got time. All
Yeah.
right.
Please don't take.
You
I'd
should
say
like
that.
flip a coin or something to see who goes first because I feel like going
Ooh,
first has been
right.
advantageous so far. The winner has gone first.
Oh, I got the perfect coin. It's my favorite coin.
All right.
It is the Tommy's Green Ranger power coin.
Oh
Like
yeah.
it's like a legit coin. It came with this Dragon Zord that I bought. So cool.
what's the
Anyway,
2 sides?
all right. So the symbol side, and then it's the putty sign. Like I guess this is like the wait. Is this the sign? No, this isn't the sign. It's on the putties.
That's a Z,
I guess
right?
it's just the no, because this is an actual Z. I
Oh,
think it's
that's
just Tommy's
right.
symbol
Okay.
of. I don't know. It's hard to. I think it's just the Green Ranger
Okay.
symbol along with the symbol. We'll say this is heads and this is tails.
You just tell me which side is you. Which side you want.
Okay.
I'll take the other side.
All right. I'll have this side be me.
Okay. Go ahead.
All right. To make this fair, I am going to flip
Oh, he's
and
gonna
drop.
show his work. I like that. Flip and drop. Got it.
Yeah. Can you?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
man. That's a good.
Did you just drop the phone?
Yeah. Did I call that side? I think I called that
You called
side.
that side, so you can go first.
Okay.
Did you really drop the phone?
Yeah.
Awesome. It suddenly got muffled, and I heard like distant laughing. Uh, okay, Chris, you got the first selection, and it is interesting. It's Iway.
Uh, I'm even though he's a truth seer, I'm but I feel like I might get something really bad. But I could force. Dang it! What the heck?
Sorry, this is one of the 2 days a year Chris has an alcoholic beverage, and now he can't hang on to his phone.
Then I broke my tripod.
The other day, sorry, this is a little off topic, but it's very amusing. Uh, Giovanni was like, "Yeah, Americans. Why do Americans always make fun of Italians? Like all we drink is wine. Like we drink other things too. It's just that." And the way that he describes, like, all we do is drink wine with lunch and dinner and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, that's
That's
that's kind of what we. It's kind of our
you're,
point.
you're an alcoholic, my guy.
That's really funny.
And also, you guys start at like an early age.
Yeah, they do.
All right. I'll need to hit up Amazon and buy a new
So
tripod.
Iway is the
Oh,
truth
Iway.
seer from
I will put him.
season 3 of Korra. Book 3, pardon me.
I will put Iway at 4. Yeah. Which forced you to put him at 5.
I think so. I don't think I can put him at 3. Truth seeing
No.
is kind of a lazy bending art to me. Like, I can sense their heartbeat, like, all right, so can a stethoscope, That's you got nothing. All right, so 4 and 5. I've got
Truth becomes so obsolete when I guess it doesn't because anyway.
it's discreetly handy, but Chris, this is good for you. The next draw we got is Haru, so I think I have to put him at 4.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, let's go ahead and lock in Haru at 5.
Okay, so quiet start so far. Chris, number 3, Jonju. Nice.
Ooh, wait. Oh, I get to go first?
Yeah, we've both got our
Right?
top 3 slots open.
Oh yeah, locking that up at 1.
You're locking up at 1. I'm okay.
Only way you can you're gonna need to pull a Toph to
pull a big
or
something.
or a Lauga maybe.
Yeah, I'll put him right just to keep it close. I'll put him at 2 for sure, though. That's the right choice. I get Aang. That's not helpful to me because if I go 3, you go 2. If I go 1, you go 2 or 3. What's more? I think I have to do 3. I think that improves my chances. So I'll go 3. I assume you are going 2. You have to go 2. Sorry. All right. Basically, I need.
I do like the chess factor here of like, all right,
I do
if
too.
I go here, he has to go there. Which that is because that is logically sound.
Yeah, I do too. I like the extra element it adds. Chris, in this case, I think I would need. If it's somebody, I feel like if it's somebody better than Jonju, because we just determined that we're waiting the way that we're waiting. I think if it's better than Jonju, I win. If it's worse than Jonju, you win.
I think so because I think your chances of pulling someone better. We ranked.
Not a
we
big,
we said before that in our ranking, which I'm not saying that has to be what we go off of, but we pretty much said that Toph was the best. And I want to say either Balauga and Jianju was in the top 3.
Yeah.
And I forget where Jianju and Lauga went there, but if you pull it out of Toph, that would be really impressive.
Well, I know you can't see it, but it's on screen, so like at least everybody will bear witness to our poor choices here. Right, I'm gonna click the button and hope for Lauga or Toph. Oh, it's Roku. All right, I think you get that one too.
Yeah.
Yours actually lines up pretty good. You've got Jonju, Aang, Roku, Iway, Haru. That's probably
Jianju, Aang,
Roku, which you might flip those two maybe, I guess, right? As earthbenders, but that's probably the only one that you have.
No, I'll probably take Aang over Roku. So Jianju, Aang,
as an earthbender.
Yeah, that's probably his second best element, and I just don't
No,
have a lot to
water.
go off of.
Water's his second best.
The thing is, he doesn't do all that much water bending, really. Like he does, but it.
It
I can
comes.
find more like really great moments of Aang earth bending, and also he knows seismic sense. Um, but
Hmm.
Aang has, I think, more notable feats of earth bending than water bending.
Ah,
And he actually once he actually learns the element, he's actually great at it, and he probably utilizes it second
okay.
to air.
So your list then is debatably spot on. Mine's real wonky. Yeah, this is probably the biggest disparity between our lists
Okay.
with drawing Roku there. That's tough. That's a tough break. And just for fun, I'm gonna
So
click
I
one more
wonder
and see who would pop up. Oh, Let came next. That wouldn't help me either.
But I wonder if there is a big, huge bias to the person who goes first.
So far we've been like completely biased. I bet that bias lessens the bigger our list is, right? So we're doing fives now.
I
If
think,
we were doing
yeah,
10, I bet that becomes less
yeah.
important.
Mhm.
A conjecture that we will test out next time. Not literally next episode. Or maybe, I don't know, but probably not.
Well, definitely not the next one. We're talking about Zuko.
Zuko next
That's
time.
a
So obviously we would do it with fire if we were going to do it. Okay, thank you so much for watching Avatar The Last Podcasters. My name's Sean. That's my friend Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek. And this has been, what did we even talk about? Oh, we're going to title this one, Chris, Finally a Good Avatar Game? Question mark. Yeah, it's going to be very enticing. You're going to love it. Thanks for watching. Leave comments, likes, thumbs ups, positive reviews, subs, click bells, all the positive interactions. We appreciate all of them. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.